Hello everyone. I want to give you a quick update and answer a few questions that I get about growing whiteworms. I've had these going for quite a few years now, and one of the questions I get is evidenced here. It seems like the worms only eat the brewer's yeast and the yogurt or the kefir, and they don't really eat the bread. I don't know why some cultures will do that. This one here is that way. But it still grows a lot of worms. Now, this particular culture, see if I can hold this up to the light real well. If you look at it, it's starting to look kind of like an old cake. Lousy icy. It's getting very wet and just doesn't look like dirt anymore. This culture is just about finished. I'm going to get a little bit more out of it, but that's it. When they start getting too wet, one of the things you can do is take a paper towel and wad it up, cut a little hole there, and what the paper towel will do is wick out some of the extra moisture. I probably will restart this one, just dump it and start over here in a pretty short period of time. But since I've got some other things I want to show today, I'm going to leave this one going. Probably this weekend I'll do it. Then you get a culture like this one, and when you start seeing the worms really abandoning ship, they are really taking off for other places, that tells you that soil is just about to go toxic on them. So that lets you know that you want to start harvesting it really heavy, because it's going to crash on you. And when it crashes, you will not have any worms to salvage. You're only going to want to get it out of the house. Boy, do they smell when they crash. So this one's still got a lot of worms in it, and I can probably nurse it a few more days. And I just keep collecting the worms out of it. One of the other items that you'll notice is your bread starts to get real soft and kind of spongy. That's really a culture that the soil's about finished, and it's just getting to have too much moisture in it. So as you can pretty easily tell, that's now 2 in a row that are like that. So I'm about to have a lot of really new cultures going. So we're going to close these 2 up, knowing that both of these are going to be gone pretty soon. Then I'm going to pull over a couple of more. We can see how they're doing. Now, this culture is a very new one. And as I've said, here's one when they're brand new. They don't really eat the bread, they just eat the yogurt and the brewer's yeast. Now I'm going to add some more bread here because I know there's worms in here. I put them in. And this is just a new bag of potting soil emptied in here. And then I'm going to take turkey baster, scoop up these things, the worms I've collected, and deposit them in here. That really is about the easiest way there is going to get a new culture started. So, see how that one's doing. Oh, I think we're going to have some more to put in here. So, here's another culture. You can see how it's doing. You can see the worms are definitely abandoning ship in this culture. They're all over the place. Now when they get like this, you can keep them going for weeks if you harvest them really hard. This is probably going to be one I stop today though, because this one is definitely over the edge. Now, one of the cool ways to move a lot of worms from one place to the next is to just take your piece of grating here and just move the grating to the new tank, to the new container. So now we got that. Now I can collect the last of the worms. I'll just toss them in. I do not want any of this soil. Okay. Now let's get you a close-up of this, because this is one that can literally just be hours before it tanks on you. You can see that the everything has gotten really shiny. There's worms on the top, but there's no worms along the bottom. The soil is just too toxic for them. And this pretty much, it's getting a fairly decent little odor to it. And this one is just really nasty. So it's time for all of this to go into the compost pile and get it all started up brand new again. So I'm going to strip off some more worms off the top. That one is done. That one is disgusting. That's enough for there. Now I'm going to pause for just a minute while I swap these out for a couple of more. Okay, here's my last two containers. Here's another one been going along pretty well. Gonna have to replace this container pretty soon. The plastic's falling apart. This is also another one that's getting pretty far down the line. I don't know why I do that. Sometimes I just get kind of stuck in squeezing every little bit I can out of them. And other times is when they start to go, I go ahead and let them go. But I'll still get a lot of worms out of this one, and that'll give me a little time for my other ones to catch up and get started. Because I have that one I started just a couple of days ago, and then the one I'm going to clean out today will be a brand new culture that I'll get started with tomorrow. So there's that one. And here's another one. And it's another one that's got a little bit too much moisture in it. This is not too wet though, so it's doing a good job of controlling the moisture. I got a little bit different kind of bread this last time. The store didn't have my normal Arnold 100% whole wheat bread. It had some kind of a country loaf or something, and it looked pretty much the same to me, but it's fairly obvious that the worms don't like it too much. I don't know why they get so finicky. Sometimes I think it's the preservatives. But this culture is going pretty good. It hasn't really reached a critical mass for a lot of collecting. But that's what we've got going. So I got a little bit to feed, and I got one, and I got this one to get rid of, and two more to put back into the cooler. So that's an update on how things are going, and give you another quick look of what one looks like right before you really wish you had done something sooner. When they look like this, you need to get it outside, because even though it's developing a little bit of an odor right now, I would say by tomorrow it'll be something that'll have you like evacuating that whole end of your house. So we're going to get this one out, get it bleached up, get it all cleaned out, ready to restart. So that's an update there on the worms. Hope that gives you some good tips to use. Thank you for watching.